guys, it's Keanu Nerdy Python coming at you with yet another movie review. So like I said in my last video, the AC at my house is currently not working, so my mom has nicely agreed to let me shoot in her house, and here I am inside her guest room. So I finally made it out to see John Wick Chapter 3 and I was very impressed. It was even better than the second film, which even in itself was just jam-packed with over-the-top action and stunts throughout. John Wick 3 Parabellum is of course the third film in the John Wick franchise and occurs just weeks after the second film where he was labeled excommunicado for killing a member of the High Table on Continental grounds. John's now on the run as a $14 billion bounty's been placed on his head, and he's just been sought after by various organizations in the hitman underground. Guys, this film does many things well, and there's just one minor thing I can nitpick it about, which is the obvious fake factor that we get as, we see all these events unfold on screen. First off, Keanu Reeves as John Wick is back and brutal as ever as this hitman with a very gentlemanly and sleek-like appearance, but is also very lethal in any type of combat situation. Keanu Reeves does such an amazing job and puts so much energy into the character that years from now you can tell that he will be remembered as John Wick himself, kind of like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. The pacing in this film is very well balanced and starts off with a short build-up to the action with over-the-top brutality occurring within the first 20 minutes. And it only slows down occasionally to establish good storytelling that every film needs, but for the most part it does a great job of keeping you engaged, and that no part of this film was all like nodding off from boredom. Guys, the action here is ridiculously insane. It has everything from gunfights to melee combat, and certain characters even use animals to aid them in combat, which is like something I've never seen before and adds a nice level of humor. The fighting choreography is superb, and the actors use a wide variety of martial arts and techniques that keep you entertained throughout. And I'm not sure if Keanu Reeves did all these stunts himself, but it's very highly believable. The unique use of MMA in combination with melee weapons calls for some jaw-dropping moves that leave you speechless, kind of like the guy that John kills by crushing his jaw with the library book. The cinematography was also well executed, giving the film its own distinct flair, and the landscapes were very bright and immersive, and particularly the Casablanca desert. The glowing lights in cities like New York also make the film live up to its neo-noir style. Halle Berry kills it as Sophia, who is like an old contact of John's, and she was just like a boss-ass bitch. From the moment she stepped on the screen, you knew that she was all about her business, and just like John, she had a fascination with dogs that she used in combat. And every time she did, I just couldn't help but gasp as, the dogs fought beside her in perfect unison. Laurence Fishbourne also returns as the self-claimed Bowery King, who is this underground crime lord obsessed with birds, so I don't know what it is with these characters and animals, but there you go. He stood out as the most eccentric yet entertaining character as he spoke in metaphor using off-the-wall terminology that was very comical and really made you think, and every time he was on the screen I just couldn't wait to hear what he had to say next. There's also a healthy amount of dark humor that just completely makes light of fatal injury, like the horses kicking the guys in the face on John's command, and also a character telling jokes after just being stabbed in the heart with a sword. Even though Reeves, Halle Berry, and Fishbourne definitely stood out the most in this film, all the other new and returning cast did great as well. Not to mention the tall guy that we see in the beginning, and I forgot his name, but we just have a very sweet ass scene with him at the start of the film. This film also has some very interesting world building and storytelling elements as it sort of delves deeper into the world of the Continental, which is this safe haven for all the hitmen that exists in various cities around the world. And we also get a little bit of John's backstory in this film as well, which is also a huge plus here. Guys, John Wick Chapter 3 was everything I hoped for and more. It's just ridiculous, over-the-top action throughout that just keeps you so entertained that you're literally at the edge of your seat the whole time. It's definitely the best horror action film that I've seen in a while, excluding Endgame, which is more comic-based. And speaking of comic books, if this isn't already a comic book, it should definitely be one, and that's just a thought that was running through my mind, throughout the entire film. I highly recommend it for action fans and moviegoers in general, and give it a 4.5 out of 5 snake eggs. So have you seen John Wick Chapter 3? What'd you think, and how'd you like the ending? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you tap that bell for notifications. There's also links to my social media posted down in the description below, and as always, Nerdy Python is out of here.